As the war between Iran and Israel shook the Middle East, with Israel bombing Iran, Iran bombing Israel, and Donald Trump ordering strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, one major country that stayed calm and watched from the sideline is China. But this was not because China was helpless or it was scared. Instead, it was a smart and well planned decision that fits perfectly well into China's long term strategy. China strongly criticized Israel's attack, though its ambassador at the United Nations called it a violation of Iran's sovereignty and security. Even Chinese President Xi Jinping warned that this particular war could get worse and bring serious losses to everybody. China also got the Shanghai Cooperation Organization to condemn Israel, although India refused to support that particular statement. China's words were louder than what it had said during previous Iran-Israel tension. But here's the interesting part. China didn't send any weapons, any troops or military help to Iran. Some in Iran were kind of disappointed, expecting real help like missile defense system or fighter jets. Western media also pointed fingers, claiming this showed China's weakness. But that's not the real story. China's refusal to jump into the war is not because it's weak. It's because China doesn't believe in wasting money and resources on wars that bring no clear benefit to them. They have learned from watching how the Soviet Union collapsed partly because of overspending on wars and how the United States wasted trillions in Afghanistan and Iraq with a little to show for it. China knows the Middle East is important. Specifically, half of China's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. China has invested heavily on Iran's energy, Saudi Arabia's infrastructure, and border region. Now, if that war grows bigger, it could hurt China's economy. But China has prepared for this. And that too by diversifying where it gets its oil and by investing more in renewable energy, which now powers 56% of its energy needs. So instead of war, China helps Iran in smarter ways. It buys a lot of Iranian oil, signed a 25-year cooperation deal with Iran in 2021, and helped broker peace between Iran and Saudi Arabia in 2023. Now, this support helps Iran survive US sanctions without requiring China to risk a military fight. Western countries often put a lot of pressure to China, saying that China has to pick a side, either stick with Iran and upset Arab nations, or drop Iran and lose influence. But China is smartly walking the middle path. It criticizes Israel loudly, but they don't get involved in the war. Now, this shows that China keeps good business relationship with both Israel, Iran, Arab nations like Saudi Arabia. In fact, this war even gives China new opportunities. How? Let's talk about that. Iran's old and weak air defenses, exposed by Israel's attack, might now push Iran to buy more modern weapons from China. Pakistan recently bought Chinese J-10C fighter jets and air defense systems, and Iran is now thinking of doing the same. Now, this could bring billions to China's arms industry without firing a single shot in this war. Now, China's strategy is not new. It followed the same non-interference policy in the Russia-Ukraine war and even during tension between India and Pakistan. Instead of acting like the US, which often jumps into the war, China focuses on diplomacy, trade, and economic strength. For China, the longer the US stays busy fighting wars in the Middle East, the better. Now, it means the US has less time, less money to focus on challenging China in the Indo-Pacific places like the South China Sea or Taiwan. While the US is busy in diplomatic talks and also investing heavy cash into these wars, China watches patiently, calculates, and waits. So in the end, Chinese decision to stay out of Iran-Israel war isn't weakness. It's a clever game of patience and strategy, but also something that is noticeable. While others fight, China strengthens its own economy, grows its global influence, and avoids the mistake that brought down other superpowers in the past.